All right, picture this. Ancient Persia, a massive empire ruled by a powerful king named Xerxes. King Xerxes decides to throw the party of the century, a feast that lasts for 180 days. Seriously. At the end of it, he calls for his queen, Vashti, to come and show off her beauty. But she refuses. Big drama. The king is furious and, on some really bad advice, he banishes her. So now the most powerful man in the world needs a new queen. His advisors come up with an idea, a nationwide beauty pageant. They gather the most beautiful young women from all over the empire to be brought to the palace. Among them is a young Jewish woman named Hadassah. She's an orphan, raised by her older cousin, Mordecai, who loves her like a daughter. She's not just beautiful. She's got this quiet strength and kindness about her. On Mordecai's advice, she keeps her Jewish heritage a secret and goes by the name Esther in the palace. Esther wins everyone over. Her grace and humility stand out when it's finally her turn to mate. The king, he's completely captivated. He falls for her, big time, and just like that, Esther, the orphan girl from a minority group, is crowned the new queen of Persia. It's a real-life fairy tale. Mordecai, meanwhile, hangs around the palace gates just to make sure she's okay one day. He overhears the guards plotting to assassinate the king. He immediately tells Esther, who warns the king, and Mordecai's good deed is written down in the royal records. But here comes the villain of our story, Haman. He's the king's top advisor, a man dripping with pride and arrogance. The king orders everyone to bow down to Haman, but Mordecai, being a devout Jew, refuses. He will only bow to God. This infuriates Haman. His ego is so fragile that he doesn't just want to punish Mordecai. He decides to destroy all the Jewish people in the entire empire. Haman goes to the king with a twisted story. He says there is a certain group of people who don't follow the king's laws and that it is dangerous to let them live. He even offers to pay for their extermination. The king, without even asking which people he's talking about, agrees. He gives Haman his ring, sealing the deal. A decree is sent out across the land. On a specific day, all Jewish people, men, women, and children are to be annihilated. When Mordecai hears the news, he's devastated. He tears his clothes and puts on sackcloth and ashes, a sign of deep mourning. He sends a message to Esther, begging her to go to the king and plead for her people. But this is a terrifying request. No one, not even the queen, could approach the king without being summoned. The penalty was death, unless the king held out his golden scepter. Esther is scared. She tells Mordecai, I could be killed. But Mordecai sends back a powerful message. He says, don't think that just because you're in the palace, you'll be safe. If you stay silent, help will come from somewhere else, but you and your family will be lost. And who knows? Maybe you were made queen for such a time as this. Those words hit Esther hard. It was like a light bulb went on. She realized her position wasn't just about comfort and luxury. It was about purpose. She finds her courage and tells Mordecai to have all the Jews fast and pray for her for 3 days. She says, I will go to the king, even though it is against the law. And if I perish, I perish. After 3 days, Esther puts on her royal robes and stands in the king's inner court. The king sees her, and thankfully, he holds out his golden scepter. He asks her what she wants, offering up to half his kingdom. But Esther is smart. Instead of blurting everything out, she simply invites him and Haman to a private banquet. Haman is thrilled, feeling more important than ever at the banquet. The king again asks Esther what she wants. Again, she deflects. Inviting them to another banquet the next day, she's setting the stage. Haman leaves the party on cloud 9, but his mood sours when he sees Mordecai still refusing to bow. He goes home and, on his wife's suggestion, builds a massive gallows, planning to ask the king to hang Mordecai on it the very next morning. That night, the king can't sleep. He asks for the royal records to be read to him and hears the story of how Mordecai saved his life. He asks, what was done to honor this man? The answer, nothing. Just then Haman walks in, ready to ask about hanging Mordecai. Before he can speak, the king asks him, what should be done for the man the king delights to honor? Haman, thinking the king means him, lays it on thick, puts him in a royal robe, place him on the king's own horse, and have a noble prince lead him through the city, shouting, "This is what is done for the man the king delights to honor." The king loves the idea and says, "Great. Go and do all of that for Mordecai the Jew." The humiliation for Haman is just epic. Later, at the second banquet, the king asks Esther for the third time, "What is your request?" This time, she's ready. She says, "If I have found favor with you, O king, spare my life and the lives of my people. For we have been sold to be destroyed, killed, and annihilated." The king is shocked. Who would dare do such a thing? He demands, and Esther points directly at the man sitting beside him. The adversary and enemy is this wicked Haman. The king explodes in rage. He storms out, and when he returns, he finds Haman has fallen on Esther's couch, begging for his life. The king misinterprets the scene, and that's the final straw. They take Haman away and hang him on the very gallows he had built for Mordecai. The immediate threat is gone. But the evil decree still stands, since a royal law couldn't be revoked. The king gives Esther and Mordecai the power to write a new one. This new decree allows the Jewish people to defend themselves against any who might attack them on that day. When the day comes, they are able to protect their families, and the story of their deliverance becomes a celebration that is still honored today, the festival of Purim. Esther, the girl who hid her identity, found her voice and courage, and saved her entire nation. A reminder that sometimes the most ordinary people are called to do extraordinary things. If you find this story interesting and valuable and you want more of it, kindly like, share, comment, and subscribe to receive notifications whenever a new story is posted. Thanks for watching.